Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's People to People with Rodney Grimes. Here I am again, a blessed man, able to be able to come to you and give you some good positive energy. I am just again elated every time that I'm in a position to be able to talk to you and share some information. But before I even introduce the guests, what I want to do is just say shout out to all the women. This is Women's History Month, and we've been focusing and bringing the young queens in to talk about the things in their life and just things that women should be thankful about and things of that nature as well. Also, I want to take this opportunity before I even go any further and say for all the people that's tuning in, let us represent ourselves all the time like kings and queens. Don't put ourselves in a position where we're going to humiliate ourselves and humiliate others. Some of you may know where I'm talking about. I'm not going to make it an issue, but I just wanted to say that I send love and peace and joy and happiness. And what we stand for, people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. So with that said, let me introduce my guest. Her name is Sekeithia.
Yes.
Hello, how you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I am so glad to have you here on the platform.
Thank you.
This has just been phenomenal. With your, I call y'all the crew. So shout out to all the ladies that came before you, and they must
Yes.
have saved the best for last. And
No, it was actually by happenstance. Normally, the last is last.
well, I tell you, I have just been so blessed to be in the presence of ladies that have the charisma and style, and just it's just been phenomenal. So, first of all, I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay. All right. So my name is Sekeithia, the poetic soldier. I am originally from Washington D.C., born and raised. Moved to Prince George's County. I actually just got back from Georgia about 2 years ago. I lived there for about 4 years. I am a lot, meaning I use myself honestly as a pure servant of God, and so and currently in that capacity, I am a mother of four amazing daughters. Outside of that, and me nurturing, training, and making sure that I am raising my daughters to be the best possible young ladies they can be. I'm also a chef. So I have my own business, Mama Key's Kitchen, and that's been running for about 2 years. It actually was birthed from COVID, something I wanted to do for years but put off, and COVID actually put that fire under me to get that goal accomplished. So that's a really great experience for me. So I do meal prep and catering. Outside of that, I've been a poet. Pretty much longer than I haven't been. I come from a family of poets. So my mother is a poet. She is a published author. She is many books. I might misquote, but I believe it's about 5 or 6. I watched her do poetry growing up. Since the age of 8, I started performing her poems. I would just do them in the barbershop, the beauty salon, and that grew my interest in poetry. She was my biggest inspiration. And so with that, I became a poet at a young age. I started my own organizations at a young age with my friends in theater. We created an organization and utilized poetry within that along with our theater skills. And from that, I worked with Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning for the last, I want to say, about 13 years of service, helping youth, facilitating poetry workshops, creating poetry workshops that allow our youth to utilize their emotions in a different way, to be able to communicate in a healthy way, to know that it's okay to express yourself, but it's about how you express yourself. It's not necessarily what you say, but how and when you say it.
Hmm.
And so that has been an amazing experience. So outside of that, I also have a nonprofit organization, Community Expressives, and through my tutelage with the Watts Prophets, they have a writer's workshop that they did over their years. And I did that when I was with Maryland National Parks and Planning. They came and taught us pretty much what we needed to know to be able to help youth understand how to utilize writing and poetry and putting it into the world in a positive way. And so Community Expressives helps communities take poetry and use it as a tool to maintain mental wellness. So like I said, I'm a lot. I've learned to accept that. I've learned to embrace that. I've learned to know that God's light is about how we be of service to others. And, our legacy and how we're remembered is about what we do and, the people that we meet and how we impact them. So that's who I am. I believe in a nutshell.
I mean, literally, after hearing that, I just thought about just getting down on the floor and bowing down to you.
No.
I'm trying to tell you, that is so. First of all, let me tell you, I am so, so proud to be able to have this opportunity to interview you. You being another queen in the area doing what you do is phenomenal. It inspires me. I know that your mom, and all your family members are very, very proud of you because of what you have accomplished. And you can't be that old, and if you are, you must be drinking some hell of a water. But really, it is just a good thing to hear you say these things and the things that you have accomplished in your life, which I would consider in a very, very short time. Because many of us, like myself, we're still struggling to get to some of our life goals. And I've done many things, but I could not compare what I've done to some of the things that you just said, and to feel like I have done much. But I can tell you, I am very, very proud of you.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I must say I have to thank my mom for that because, she definitely paved the way. My mother and my father, honestly, they paved the way for me to be able to have these opportunities that I have today, and I don't take that lightly. I know that what they've done and the strides that they made and the lessons that they learned got me to the place that I am to have these opportunities and be able to create the things that I'm able to create now for my daughters. So yeah, I think that's a beautiful lesson, and even speaking on that because my father he passed away about 2014, I want to say, and he was a jeweler, and he was one of the only black jewelers, as far as I know, in Maryland. Anybody can correct me. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but Unity Jewelers was on Silver Hill Road for many years, and that was my first job. And if I knew what I knew then, if I knew what I knew then now, I would have stayed, with my father because as a jeweler, not only is that a skill that you can't get any pretty much anywhere, it was something that I could have carried on, and that jewelry store could have still been standing today if I would have took more serious, the lessons that were being taught to me at a younger age. I did take poetry from my mother, but I do wish that I also would have took that skill of being a metalsmith a lot more serious. I know how to do a few things, but as far as what my father knew how to do, he could take gold, pieces of gold, and create anything that you think of. Literally, Iris and Mall and Forest Mall would go to him to create pieces, and then they'd upcharge our people, for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was amazing to be able to now teach that to my daughters. Like, you don't have to take on these family skills, but other cultures, they do. Other
Yeah.
cultures, they take pride in knowing that, if this is the family business, we're going to cultivate this business and we're going to grow this business. So years from now, we're going to pass it down for legacies, and lineage is going to be able to say, like, this is how we made it. So I just wanted to say that because, though my father is not here, I definitely take every opportunity I can to make mention of him and his successes, and how, if anybody out there has a family business, and you're young, you may have things that you want to do, but make sure that, you can create your own lane within that business. You could take your passion, your talents, and your skills and find a way to add to that family business, because if you don't, you're kind of taken away from that family legacy that you can create. Even if you go your own route, you're better together, a lot better together. And so that's just one thing I would definitely want to put out there in reference to my experience and how I could give back, to younger generations to do better, and make more wiser choices when it comes to what we want versus, what's the best possible outcome.
Yes. Well, I can truly tell you that your father is with you. He's in you, and he's proud of you because just in the little presence from me speaking and hearing you, I feel proud too. And I know your mom. She probably just totally like just light up whenever she see you. Do you come from a large family, siblings?
Actually, no. So my mother, I have a brother, one brother with my mother's side of the family, and then on my father's side of the family, I have a brother and a sister. So
Okay.
between my mother, Desiree Johnson, I have Miguel Johnson, and then with my father, Eric Wellington, there is Lanice Wellington, and then Jarrell Eric Wellington.
Okay, okay. Well, again, kudos to your parents because they put a they that you talking about your father being a jeweler.
Yes.
He got a jewel,
Yes,
and that's
thank
what he
you.
molded. So that's phenomenal. So I understand that you wrote a book,
I
or
did.
how many?
Actually, I only have one.
Okay, and what's the name of it?
So this book was my first book, Color Me More Royal, my first and only book. This book is a book of poems, and I entitled it "Color Me More Royal" based on the Moorish culture and how much it inspired me when I learned about it and all the things that they created. That pretty much get overlooked within many communities and around the world. And so it doesn't necessarily talk about everything in reference to Moorish culture, but in reference to the poems that I'm speaking in reference to and the history that I'm talking about, and as far as our people and how powerful we are and what we can create when we really put our minds to it and unite. That's what these poems are about. I look at my book as a way of tracking history, in a sense, from my perspective, from my generation, and so I look at my book as it may not be important to many now, but years from now, when my daughters are in their 30s, like I am, I feel like this book is going to be major.
Yes.
It's going to be something that can be used in colleges and high schools and even elementary schools, honestly, as a means of saying, what do you think about this? What was going on in this time? During slavery, or in reference to money and how it was looked at during this time, or even health issues. So I just feel like it's in a very important body of work that I'm very proud of. I honestly don't promote it as much as I should. It's kind of like a treasure to me, but it's definitely something that I will still say that people can get and is available. But you have to be able to catch me and see me to perform to get it now. I used to be on Amazon. You can still get the digital copy on Amazon, but I want to be able to see, touch, hug the people that I meet. So you got to see me for her.
Yeah, I'm just so. This is really so exciting for me. I'm trying to keep my composure because for each one of the ladies that I've met and had you in here, y'all are amazing. Y'all have made me. I almost feel like I want to start a gang and make sure I got y'all in there with me. I mean, that is just phenomenal. And for this to be the month of representing women, I can honestly say from every last one of y'all representing women very, very powerful and with a very unique style
Thank
that's just making most of us guys, we gotta step our game up. Let me tell y'all brothers out there, man, y'all better get yourself together because these young ladies coming in here with books, businesses, they got children, they got structure, and more important, they have God in their life and they
you.
are true queens. And I'm just so proud of you.
Thank
I
you.
cannot say that enough. It's many of us that we be struggling in so many different ways. But when I see a young lady like you and the other ladies that have come before you, I'm just y'all making me feel like a warrior, and I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna be y'all protector. I'm gonna be y'all guiding light to
Yes.
help put y'all in positions to be seen and to be able to shine like y'all should.
Yes.
I
Thank you.
understand that you have taught over 3,000 youth in
Yes.
the area, and
Yes.
so what is that like when you're in that position trying to share your gift to somebody that's probably close to your age or younger?
Well, that's one thing over the years I can say, I guess, as you mentioned earlier, like looking youthful helps a lot with that. But as I have gotten older, I've realized that it's more so about addressing the youth where they are, and not really where I want them to be or
Come
what I
on
want to get across to them.
now.
So over the years, I've definitely created interactive activities that really help them to not be afraid to address who they really are and what they're really going through in a room full of people, but also recognizing that their voices matter, and so much so that we don't recognize how many times, even as adults, that we shut them down from what they think just by being distracted or by not even fully engaging in the thoughts that they're having. And so in those moments, I just let them know, like, listen, I understand many times you probably didn't feel heard, but like this your time to shine.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is the moment. And with Maryland National Parks and Planning Commission, there's a weekly long camp that we have with several other poets in the area as well that are veterans. When I say veterans, those are my elders in the game. Those are my OGs. Neville Adams, Chris, my mother is on that team as well. Sister Joy, who's actually the poet laureate of Prince George's County, as well as we have meditators on the team as well. And so, working with the youth, I really learned that it's necessary for us to focus on more so their needs, because we always have a vision or a mission and what we see, but they see so much more. And the older I get, I realize technology's created this gap in the universe. And my oldest daughter, is 12, and the things that she sees on the internet, the things that she knows, the things I try to keep her from, I can't,
Right.
You have to have these discussions. And so I'm thankful for the 3,000 plus youth, that because I'm never going to stop educating the youth. I thank them because they've prepared me to be a better mother, to be able to listen, to be able to really have patience, to not always try to honestly inflict my way on my children, but more so I can always have my way. I'm the mother, but it's more so about how I go about that and making sure that they're seen and they're heard in that process. And I get a lot more positive results, not just from the youth that I work with, but even within my household, from just being able to listen. And then engage. And so I utilize my poetry as a means to connect with them. So I have poetry that ranges, it's some hip hop, and some is I've even translated poems in Spanish, for the Hispanic community and the youth that I teach, just to be able to connect more and let them know that whatever you need, I'm going to create, because God gave us all the ability. So I go to my Father like, look, God, we got this thing that we got to do,
Yes.
and I trust that it's going to happen. And so whatever comes, from God, and He allows that to be put through me, I give it to the youth, and it never fails. And it's not because of me, at all. I know it comes
What
from
I
God.
really love that, and I've been hearing several of you say it, but you just said something that's very profound, and that is that when you go to these young people, you don't go to them as if you're directing them and trying to dominate them, but you go to them where they are.
Yes.
You meet them where they are and allow them to come at you. And that is something that we as leaders of all ages have to know. With time, things changes.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us to understand when we communicate, learn how to communicate the language which they speak.
Yes.
So, of course, I was born in 1960. They were still killing black people and throwing rocks at us. I had elderly white man spit on me and called me the N word, which at about that happened around when I was about 9 to 10 years old. I didn't really understand why he did it,
Right.
but it was a difference in my time. Also during that time, I also had a white woman, and I'm trying to remember her name, that lived on our block. And at the time, she was the only white woman, and we would have killed for her. We would have tore the bricks down to protect her. But we was in a time where things were different. We used to walk around and we would put up the Black Power sign.
Yes.
And we would nod when we see another brother. We would nod, and that was like, I'm my man. We also hugged each other. It was more so a representation of said, I got your back and you got mine.
Mm-hmm.
But now things have changed, and we have to learn how to communicate on the levels where we are now.
Yes.
Because I can't walk up to just any young black male and hug them, because they don't receive it.
And that's what I heard from what you just said was about how important discipline, was back then, love at the end of the day, as well as respect. I feel like those are a lot of things that are lost in this day and age, and more importantly, keeping your composure and being able to allow your logic to outweigh emotion. I feel like it's so important that we recognize the times that we're in right now, how everything is so spiritual, but it's so many reactions in the flesh, if that makes sense. And it seems as though, like, my elders to me are so important. Like, you guys are treasures, because I feel like the time that you all came from it wasn't about being reactionary. Like you couldn't really react
Right.
because reacting had such great consequences that you
Yes.
had to really think things
Yes.
through. And in this day and age, everything seems to be so impulsive. And I I wonder now, like like how does that look though for you coming from a day and age where so many things occurred when you literally had to keep your composure because it was life or death, versus now watching our youth or watching in different scenarios and situations how using emotion is more important. And I just want to know, like how does that look for you as an elder, and what would even be able to say to the young generation, and how important it is to keep your composure in these type of situations.
Well, basically, looking at a young queen like yourself, first of all, is to give you the utmost respect, number one, but also to respect myself. And where we are in this day and time, we're in a position where we have to move with time. Time waits for no one. If we think hundreds of years ago, they were still riding horses and buggies. Now you got a car that you can get in that you can do over 100 miles an hour in less than 60
Yeah,
seconds
yeah.
and take off. So we're talking technology that's changed. What do I tell young people? I tell them to make sure that you learn to love yourself first so
Yes,
that you can learn how to love others.
yes.
Learn how to respect yourself first so that you can learn how to ask, respect, and receive it. Put yourself in a position where what you can do is you can lead by example and teach an old dog new tricks like myself. See, I can learn so much from you, and I don't have a problem with doing that. And just kudos to uh, any individual who see their dreams and follow them, because anything that you can conceive, you can achieve.
Yes, yes.
I don't care what it is, what it is. God has put it in us.
He did.
We are made in His image, and if God can create a world like this, He can create things that we have yet to see.
Hmm.
Then it only can tell you when you really get in tune with who you are in your spirituality, you become phenomenal.
Yes, I agree.
And that's one of the things that for each one of them ladies that came before you or your crew, I'm telling you, y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
I just really, I just wish I had 100,000 of you. And I'm sure I
I trust
do,
it.
but I just wish I had all of y'all in the same area to keep
Yes,
moving forth, because we need
yes.
this so much. Kudos to what you're doing. Kudos to your
Thank you.
book. Kudos to everything that you accomplished. Tell me about your business a little bit. You said you have a catering business.
Yes, so I have a catering business, and it's pretty interesting. So Mama Key's Kitchen started out in the midst of COVID. So when I came to Maryland in 2000, and was that 19 when COVID? No,
Yeah,
2020, I think.
no, it actually wasn't. It was
The top of maybe
2019
2020.
when that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that was the end of the end of
of
2019, going into 2020.
20. Yeah.
And I came to visit Maryland actually March, the beginning of March, the second week of March, and I was supposed to return 2 weeks later, and all the flights got canceled, and I was stuck with my daughters and myself. And at that point in time, the relationship that I was in wasn't really going too well. And we were on the outs, and I had to figure out, what I was going to do. I really didn't have a choice. I was homeless. I thank God for my family and friends, for my village at that time. And I feel like, too, and one of the things I can say that between, Cookie, Delaz, Alicia, one thing that I believe we all recognize is that, when God presents us with struggles, when God presents us with these obstacles, um, it is within our faith and ability to believe and trust in God even when we don't want to. And Him getting us through that makes the testimony, that makes God's glory magnificent. That makes you tell these stories and people say, you know what, wow, like I can make it through this moment. So through each struggle, I feel like, God created me to not only withstand it, but to make it through it. So, and I say that to say in this moment, I was in an extremely dark place, when Mama Key's Kitchen started out. I had found out during that time at the end of my relationship that I was pregnant with my fourth child. And as a woman, I can say that, we get asked these questions about how these things happen. And, we get this a many amount of kids. People looked at me a little crazy. And I even felt a little crazy, but I trusted that, and deep within my spirit, I just was like, I don't know, God, but I know that you have to know. And that life that was inside of me that I felt I couldn't do anything but just figure it out and
Mm-hmm.
see what birthing, no matter what struggle was going to come through that birth, it had to happen. And it happening, I never would have thought that who I was 2 years ago is where I would be today with Mama Key's Kitchen, with who I am as a woman, with the understanding that I have now, with how that transition prepared me. Because one thing that I know is the relationship that I was in, that I got that I birthed my last two daughters in. They were the best possible outcomes of that situation because it was improper planning. And me, honestly, as a woman, not being honest about what I wanted and who I was, and making choices that I could honor or even, be loyal to at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day. And I feel like that's important for women, for us to know the choices that we're making, to honor those choices, and to know the people that we're choosing, and to really ask those hard questions up front and not wait, not be afraid, not just, to be able to feel that moment, but also feel it above our emotions and know that, a lot can happen from a moment in time. A lot can happen from meeting someone.
Mm.
So Mama Key's Kitchen was birthed through a lot of pain,
Mm-hmm.
through loss. I had to hustle. I was living in a hotel with my children. I was going to a cooking facility to be able to cook the food, and selling it, out of my car at first, until I could be able to afford to present myself to get a commercial kitchen, to cook out of. And I thank God for, again, my village, my family and friends, those that shared the flyers, those that shared the post. I'm getting emotional because it's like, without people, we think that life is about education. I spent a lot of time reading books, a lot of time, believing that knowing my history is very important. But the people that the people that you invest in, how you treat people, your intentions, it's so important because we're gonna all need people one
Yes,
day. God put us here together for a reason,
that's it.
and so my business now is growing again, still through the village. Thank you. Through the fact that I have the opportunity to create beautiful food that I have inspired was inspired through my family, who's taught me great meals. My father taught me how to make an amazing lasagna. So that was one of the first things I sold. It's called the Wellington lasagna, named after my father's last name. And he taught me how to make this lasagna, and I've sold a lot of lasagna throughout the DMV area, and I'm thankful for that. And so I specialize in Italian food. I look to take Mama Key's Kitchen very far. As far as now, I'm looking into, creating my own pasta, bottling up my own sauce. And at first, I would be afraid to say these things, like, I don't want to put it out there because it's not done yet, but God got me.
Come on now.
I trust that.
Yes.
So there's nothing that can't be said or done. And I thank Alicia for before even coming on here. Giving me a call, encouraging me and saying, like, don't ever forget that. Like, God made us, so we're good, and we are always good. And so that's what Mama Keys is, a family business. Italian food, the Italian culture is about family, community. The mothers in Italian families matter so much so that everywhere you turn is mama this, mama that, mama this. And I was inspired by, the Italian culture to take that. And in order for me to sustain Mama's Keys Kitchen, and also afford, the choices that I've made in life, these beautiful lives that I have, and and me and my partner and I, creating this family and trying to figure out how to maneuver through all this chaos that the world is in, as well as that we create within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning that I had to, go back to work even. I've not been an employee since it's been about 7 years. I was on an artist run. It's great to be a creative. But as a person, as a human, when you make decisions, you have to have a plan. And so I sat one day and I was like, whoa, life insurance, 401k, these things are important. And we are on this rip and run of wanting, oh no, how that happened.
It's all right. Don't worry about
Sorry
it.
about that. We're on this rip and run of assuming that, we have all these things figured out. But technically, life is about what we leave behind and what we put our children in position for. And so I've put myself in position now to overwork even more, but it's okay because I know the decisions that I've made. I know I have to be held accountable for those decisions, and I have to own those decisions. And in being a servant of God, I pour myself out in every way. So I'm going to end this life so empty because that's God's plan, you know, to be able to pour out all of me to the world, to my kids, to my family, to the community through all the businesses, the nonprofit, Mama Key's Kitchen, Community Expressives. No matter what I touch, I trust that, you know, God has me because at the end of the day, these businesses are not they're not anything but my community service, you know, my service that I'm able to provide through the gifts that God has given me. And I just utilize that to constantly give back and pour into the world, you know, until I can't pour into the world anymore.
Yeah, first of all, this is just overwhelming for me. Um, when I say that, this being the History Month for Women, to have had four young queens come on here. I'm Cookie. If you watching, I love you, baby. I love you. Thank you so much for this introduction.
Yes.
Um, Letitia, I mean,
Sekeithia.
no. I'm talking about Alicia.
Alicia, yes.
Alicia. She was phenomenal. That's my baby. I don't know. Me and her, me and her gonna throw rocks at police cars and run.
Listen, that's that's the homie.
Yeah, you already know. Let me put that number out there. For anyone out there that want to call in, the number is 703-798-7230. This number is, oh, you know what? Y'all got to excuse that number. That was my cell phone number I just gave you. You see how they got me excited? The number is 703-752-6120. Is that what I said?
No.
Oh. Okay. Hey, I mean, they just got me on the run. The number again is 703-752-6120. If you're just joining me, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. My guest is Sekeithia.
Yes.
Right? She is phenomenal. This young lady, a poet, a mother, a queen, a businesswoman, but most of all, she's a God-loving woman as well. And this is what we need when you talk about the month of women history. You are making history. You are history. You are, your mom is history.
Yes.
Your grandmother is history.
Yes.
For what y'all women have done. She was talking about her mother when she was on the program the other day, and when she was speaking about her mom, I was almost saying, look, I'm gonna have to get y'all mamas in here so I can interview them too.
Hey, seriously.
Seriously. So we need to work on that. But with all of y'all, it would be an honor if y'all was to adopt me as a part-time daddy.
Listen, yeah, done.
You know what I mean? Seriously, I am just so proud of you, and I want to encourage you, no matter what, you keep God first.
Yes.
We got a caller. Okay, get that. Let me see. They're gonna get the caller. Hello, caller. State your name and where you calling from.
My name is Desiree, and I'm calling from Maryland, Ellicott City.
Okay, how you doing, Miss Desiree?
I am doing wonderful, thank you. And yourself?
I'm blessed by the best, and I'm sitting here with a young queen sitting beside me. So I'm sitting here with smiles and just elated and so proud to be a king in the presence of a queen today.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All four of those young women are remarkable. And this one happens to be my seed, and I'm so proud of her.
Is this your mom?
Yes, I knew it.
Oh, my God. Hey, yo. Hello, mother. How you doing? I am so proud of you as well. And you have done an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She made it easy. She didn't make it difficult, that was for sure.
Well, now that I got you on the phone, you already know that I'm going to be trying to get it so that I can get you in here for that interview, right? So
Don't be laughing, Mom.
Come on, Ma. Come on now, you
That
got
would
to
not
tell.
be a problem. That wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, we're gonna have to make that work. But hey, let me tell you something. Again, it's Women's History Month. I salute you. I salute you as a queen. I salute you as a woman. I salute you as a warrior. And the reason I have to say that is because as I sit here with your daughter, I'm just feeling like I can only see what you gave her that was a jewel itself. And for her to be able to sit here and to speak uh, and talk about the things that she's accomplished. Kudos to you and kudos to your daughter as well.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you, King. She has been a joy. And just seeing these four come together is remarkable. The world is in for a treat.
Well, that's what People to People is all about. We believe that people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. That's PTP. And we are setting this platform together to move in a direction where we are trying to expose individuals like yourself as well, that we're letting people see how God has blessed us with these gifts. And I just want to tell you again, from each one of the young ladies down to your daughter, I think I got another muscle in my arm, that I know that I got work to do to be a protector for them. So I'm just really, really proud of her.
I love that. Thank you for the platform, King. We appreciate that as well because so many people need the exposure for others, and especially when you're doing wonderful things in the community. Because the more people know, the more people can get involved.
Well, this is a platform for you as well, and anyone that you know that's trying to do something positive, please let them know that they can tune in. We have Motivation Monday. Let's talk about it Wednesday, and we also have date night Friday, and we do specials on Saturdays as well. But this is not my journey. This is our journey. This is our journey, and I
Yes.
want you to know that. So I can't wait. You already said it's no problem about you coming in, so you can't back up on me.
I'm not going to back up for you. Right now, I just wanted to call in and be about the young ladies and about what their accomplishments are, and I will definitely. You got me on the back end.
Thank you so much, and peace and blessings to you.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Mama.
Keep pushing, baby.
All
Oh
the
my
time.
God. That is amazing. This is where we are as an individual, where we shine and show support and love.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. I just listened to your mother. I can already imagine what your daughter's going to be like. Because they got grandma that's setting the tone,
Yes.
and then mama has taken it and made it a melody.
Yeah.
And now the girl's gonna make it a song.
Listen.
You understand?
That's crazy. You were saying my oldest daughter's name is Lyric. So
Oh, come on now.
that was amazing.
I'm just,
Yeah.
man, this is just amazing. I have some things that Cookie and I have been talking about. We got some plans down the road. Y'all don't know what y'all have done for me. Y'all stirred up. I'm a cook too now, and I can do a little something. And now I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to throw. It's going to be a chili pot of poetry. If you don't know,
Oh.
come on. I'm gonna start throwing some things up in there.
Listen.
And we gonna make something happen.
Hey, I'm all for it.
I am so excited because I'm a poet too, but I'm not gonna. I realized after I listened to all of y'all, and I ain't heard you give anything yet, but the other three, oh my God, y'all are amazing.
They are amazing.
Answer that phone and tell them to come on in. But caller, how you doing? Can you say your name and where you calling from?
Gerald McCoy.
I'm so excited.
Gerald
How's your
McCoy,
mom?
my brother. How you doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, man.
Hey, Gerald, turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to the program off because it's echoing in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's happening, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, listen, this is phenomenal. You have a cook on the air?
Yes. This young
Yes.
lady, this young lady over here said she make one of the best lasagnas in the United States of America.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. you know, I have my heart. Something very special for cooks. You know, and to hear her passion and love and joy for food, that kind of makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up a little bit. You know, so I couldn't help but calling in. My hats off to her. She's a very sharp young lady, and I thought it was pretty heartwarming. Also, you had you like you said, you've been interviewing and having some conversation with some wonderful and some sharp people. That young lady named Cookie, she's sharp. She's sharp. She's real sharp. And she's very special and close to my family members, you know. So I thought it was pretty cool to see that she was having a great conversation with someone like yourself, you know. You guys are doing a wonderful work in the community, man. That's phenomenal. Really, really, really. It really is, you know.
Thank you, my brother. And you as well,
Yes,
being another king out there. What we have to do is continue to show love and respect for one another. You know, Gerald, how I feel about you. And he's a phenomenal cook. And when you talk about a man that can cook, he's not to be played with.
Hey,
And so,
so I appreciate it.
yeah, so much love and respect to you, my brother.
Yes,
I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. More than you know. I really do.
All right,
You know, so, yes, sir. So I'd be happy to cook with her anytime, any day.
Hey.
Let her know.
We can definitely set that up. I would be honored, absolutely. And anybody out there that's listening to, I don't just specialize in lasagna. I do meal prep. So if you want it, I know how to cook it. Don't even worry about it. I can do it.
Well, hey, Gerald.
I trust that. I believe that. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
As you know I'm the wrong person for her to say that to, right? you know I'm going to test her skills. You know that,
Hey.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to, I was just talking to Gerald the other day about some of the things we've actually did some of his dishes on date night
Oh, wow.
with me and my wife that we do on Friday, right? And Gerald
Mhm.
provided you remember the lamb pie?
I do.
Hey, I'm talking. When I tell you this dude did a lamb pie that'll make you want to dance a jig in the middle of the floor
Oh,
while you
this
eating.
collaboration is going to be great. Lamb pie.
Oh my God! But again, hey, thank you for calling in, Gerald, man. You know I love you, man.
Love you too. Love you too.
Yes, Joe. We will
Appreciate you.
collab soon.
So this is phenomenal. Again, for you to be talking about these things that you do. But what I need you to do, I need to hear some of your poetry. I need you to do something. You got to do something for me. So come on, give me
Okay,
something. Do you read it or do you recite it? It don't matter how you do it.
I do recite it.
Okay.
But, okay, so I'll do, since we've been talking about kings and queens, I have a piece called You Will Call Me Queen.
Yes.
So it's entitled Queen. And before I do it, I just want to say that, this piece was actually inspired by me watching Birth of a Nation when it first came out. And it wasn't Nat Turner's rebellion that actually, it was the reason for his rebellion that captivated me. Everything they did to the black man, no matter how much struggle the black man endured during that time, it was the moment that his woman was assaulted, the moment that his woman was really in danger, that he chose to turn against everything he knew for the betterment of his people.
Come on.
So that's what this poem was inspired by. So it was not a disrespect to the black man at all, but more so of a reminder of who we are and how we can come back to what we need to be greater. So you will call me queen, like you mean it. I stand before you, the naked truth, proof that royalty will exist in the midst of confusion. I am not the object, but the objective. You need me in order to lead. Don't be desensitized by what was embedded. Let me stampede your mental, take you back to what was taken from you. My sisters have been the side chick to white clit, the white penis's wench while my brothers took the whip. Now you whipping up that white-ish, selling it to your brethren. Drinking lean until your mind leaves, popping pills, peeling caps back, getting locked or dug 9 feet under until your family is left asunder. Or you make enough money to leave your family for the lust of another. When will you tire of being a henchman and claim your throne? You've disowned emotion, too afraid to show you care. Centuries of our king's souls not even being there. So queens have disowned the thought of loving you ever since you lost sight of right. You're wrong for leaving us behind when we've never left your side. You've been trained to see divide, not trust in our divine mind, allowing pain to be your pride and new punani your guide. You've been whipped into shape years before you were given a name. And even in your dismay, brother, I call you king to your face in an attempt to call out your true character, despite your enslaved barriers. So you will call me queen like you mean it. Fight for me like I am a part of your being. I am healing, yet you hardened your heart. Got it sustained in the dark, so when light shines, you close your eyes instead of adjusting. You've become a slave to your own misfortune, seeking only pleasure when I am plethoric to your nature, yet you choose hatred. I guess because it's easier to forget lose. I guess because it's easier to forget losing what you never had. You no longer give me a chance outside of opening my legs. I became a BIT, you know the rest, when your name and your claim and your greatness slipped from royalty. I got tricked when you stopped treating me as queen, left to gold dig when you got more fixated on things. How can you stand as a man knowing you've been programmed to treat me less than human? I've been lessened to crazy, the woman that only has babies, then discarded and disregarded as if you aren't the guard of our nation. You put your friends before our engagements. Villages all over without leaders since you took your pact and y'all decided to be heathens. I speak for many women as one. Billions left numb, done committing to men who only see figures yet can't figure out that queens, we be the key to prosperity. So I'll be angry, black, woman, ranting and raving while you run and replace me, you'll only find replicas of our greatness. So solo dolo became your MO. Too scared to step up to the throne and take responsibility for what's yours. You'd rather eat the ish you've been given than work hard for the exquisite. Now we both have hunger pains. The difference is, when you're hungry, I'm there to fix the plate. But what do you bring to the table, other than what's left over of your brokenness? You've seen me alone become whole again, just for you to puncture holes again. You can't even hold me because walking away is in your bloodline. Realize, staying, it's in mine. Staying true, going through the trenches, you know, like raising the children. I come from a lineage of women who had to hold it down when their kings were forced to turn around. So you will call me queen like you mean it, knowing that we have a choice. And time is not what it once was. So you won't beat me into virtue nor tame me into meekness. I refuse for it to be two of us in bondage. Let me free you. Call me queen like you mean it. Call me queen like you see me. Call me queen like you believe in me. Call me who I am so we can be who we are. I can't take anything from you, brother. I'm just here to help you remember all that you forgot. So, king, address me as queen. Crown your mind and belief. And come back home to the throne where you need to be. Thank you.
I got the. Hey, you know what I mean? This is it. You are amazing. Here we got another call. You are amazing. This is phenomenal. I just love it. I love y'all style. I love how y'all deliver.
You know what I mean?
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Please say your name, where you calling from, and you need to turn down your whatever you're listening to the program on, so it won't echo into the mics.
Okay, my name is Maisha, and I'm calling from Maryland.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing, Maisha?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm sitting here with this young queen, and I'm just getting such a treat, and she's just inspiring me to go home and write some poetry.
I think she inspires me every day because I know her personally, and she's such a beautiful queen inside and out. And I just wanted to send her some love today and tell her Happy Women's Month.
Yes.
Beautiful queen.
Thank you, Ma.
And I'm going to record that poem and post it on social media. Just wanted to let you know that in advance.
Thank you so much. And I can send it to you, too. It's somewhere on my page, but I'll definitely keep that in mind. I thank you and appreciate you for listening.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Rodney, for having my beautiful sister on tonight. And I'm enjoying the program.
You know what I'm asking everybody to do? For everybody that's just listening in, this is not just to support me. It's not just to support you, but it's to support us. To go to YouTube, you'll put my name in, Rodney Grimes, and subscribe.
Yes.
We're trying to build a foundation, people to people. And this is a program that's called the People's Podcast. And I am sincere about that. So I appreciate you supporting her today. And I'm asking everybody, let us take this platform to a level where people will recognize that in the DMV, we do what we do.
Yes.
We do it proudly.
Yes.
And so it's many
Let's
of us
do
out
it.
here that are talented and blessed. And you do poetry too?
I did it many years with her and her mother. I have not done it in a while. I'm an educator now.
You're an educator?
Yes, I am.
Oh, so let me say thank you to you, another queen, for what you're doing to help sustain us and move us in the direction to succeed in this life. We cannot move without you. I can tell each woman that's listening tonight, as a man, I consider the woman the closest thing to God because of the things that y'all do for us and provide for us.
Yes.
And I say thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in and showing this young lady support. And I send peace and blessings to you as well.
Yes, Maisha.
Thank you. Peace and blessings to you as well.
Thank you so much. This is, again, this is a platform that I cannot stress how important it is for it to succeed.
Yes.
This is not about me. God put this in my spirit. And you are now another message given to me to keep moving forward. I have a duty and an obligation to you,
Amen.
to your father, to your mother. I am your keeper.
That's major. Thank you.
And so what I'm trying to do is put us out here. I have children. I have grandchildren. I would love for my granddaughter to touch your arm. My granddaughters to be in your presence. For them to see you and walk and say, Lolo or granddaddy or grandpa, I like to be like her. I would be honored for them to give me that to look forward to. You are an amazing young lady.
Thank you.
Don't you ever, under no circumstances, find yourself where you struggle. Not as long as you got my telephone number. I am your adopted father. And I say that with the utmost respect.
No, understood. I take it as that. Thank you.
So, it's many ladies that's out here, and I don't try to save the world. I just do my part.
Yes.
And having you here at this table is just such a blessing. I don't want to make it about me. From each one of the young ladies who've been in here, I was so elated the other day. First of all, Cookie blew my mind when I met her. Cookie is like a sunshine.
Isn't she that yellow? That's all you think about when you see it.
She just lights up. And then
Alicia.
I saw her with her swag, and when she came, I was like, come on now. She made me want to start doing this right away.
Hey, Alicia brings fire to every, it's just like a light, a bulb of energy.
Yeah.
I love it.
She was phenomenal. And then the end.
The last.
The last.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all got to excuse me with my remembers of names. I get so excited, but the last. The last, don't you get mad at me because I messed it up.
Okay.
She touched my heart. Mm-hmm. She gave me some wisdom and knowledge to hold on to for something that I had to deal with. But I heard something from many of y'all that I don't like. I don't like men abusing our queens. Not understanding that y'all are a jewel. Things that we supposed to take care of.
Indeed.
It took me a little while to learn that too.
Yeah.
But that's through society has prepared us to try to downplay our queens and make them be less than what they are.
Yeah.
But as men, if we claim to take that title, we have to first know that we are your protectors, not to be your abusers.
Indeed. And, I appreciate you saying that. And it's so amazing because one thing that I am raising my daughters to know and understand every day of their life is that, when it comes to relationships, not just with men, but with people, period, but you definitely need to know the people that you're involving yourself with.
Yes.
And I feel like we get so caught up in the feeling part of everything that a lot of the hard questions in reference to how we choose to even raise children, what our beliefs are, where we stand on certain things, how we react and act, what are our triggers, the things that will make us really lose control, and how do we as people in relation to others reel that person back in when we love them, like,
Yeah.
to not make them more out of control,
Right.
and I feel like I just have been really adamant about my daughters understanding that we're not going to always get it right, but I want them to be able to be proud of their decisions, and abusive men never okay at
Right.
all.
At
And
all.
as a young woman, for my daughter, I'm trying to raise her to understand that, you do have a choice in the matter. You may not always know, you might not always get it right, but I want to make sure that they ask enough right questions that they don't have to encounter someone like that, hopefully, because my mom did everything she could to prepare me, and it still wasn't enough preparation, because as a young lady growing up, you always feel like you know a little bit more, you got a little bit of edge over a situation. We don't, if you think that, you won't. And it's like, men are raised a certain way, and we as women are raised a certain way, and we just have to be more focused on how we as young ladies make those decisions and do it wisely, having a plan, having an understanding of these moments can lead to a future with these people, and we have to be able to take heed to every choice that we make. It's never just a moment. Every choice we make today has an effect in our future. So
For all the young women, all the women, period. If you're in a new relationship, ask the man to pray with you first,
yes.
and listen to his prayer.
Hmm.
If he refused to humble himself to God, you immediately remove yourself away from him.
Speak.
Because if he can't put God first to be able to understand how to treat you, he's not someone that you want to reveal your personal body to have him plant a seed that he will not nourish or water.
Yes.
And that would go even as for men as well. But this is the month of women. And so I'm speaking to all the women out there. Be very, very particular about who you allow to enter your arena.
Yes.
Because God gives you a gift. And when you allow that man to penetrate your spirit, your gift becomes his.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to know how to treat it. We got a couple of more minutes. You got the last words. I need you to speak to the individuals. Say whatever you want. If you want me to peel somebody's head, tell me. I'll go get them.
No need. The last thing I would just leave everybody with is, it's on my heart, like the world is so out of order, right now. And everything about God is order. If you look at how the world is ran, how everything rises to God, how everything that's put here is of service to God, And I feel like we as a people are more focused on how God could be of service to us, and not focused on how we can really be of service to God and what we are really doing to show God our love for him, and how we are grateful to be put here, for God and his glory, not for our own selfish desires, not for what we want. And speaking to, the women and the young ladies out there, it's up to us to understand the order in which things are placed. It always says a man that finds a good woman finds a good thing. And I believe that was written for a reason. Even in, Islam, the woman is so important. And it's because of once we have an understanding of who we are as women and our ability and our power, then we understand that, we pretty much have the barometer of what that order looks like. And when we as women are out of order, meaning how the choices that we make, what we choose to do, how we choose to move in this world, realizing that every action has a reaction, and every thought and everything that we are has to reflect God. And we're not going to always be perfect in that, but in doing that, we will have less missteps. And so I just would want to leave everybody with knowing that, even for men, the world has an order, and knowing your place in order as our leaders and as the people that are supposed to, give us that logical perspective of life, to know that, we as emotional beings have a proper place. We all have a proper place in this form and life that God gave us. And it's just about understanding that. And the only way we can understand it is by going to God. The only way we can understand it is by having a relationship with God, not just through our churches or through our mosque or through our altars or whatever we may use to reverence God, literally through going to God. And so I just want to leave everybody with that. In order to love ourselves, you got to go to God. You know God. In order to know God, you'll know everything about you.
That is powerful. I thank you so much.
Thank you for
You're an
having
amazing lady. Much respect to you. And this will not be your last time
Thank you.
here on this platform. I'm looking forward to all of the ladies. I can't wait to get all of y'all at one time.
I can't wait for it either.
That's gonna be powerful. I'm gonna have to get me some soldiers though. But this is people to people with Rodney Grimes. I thank you so much. I thank you, my guest.
Thank
I tell you,
you.
you are truly blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
I tell you, you're phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you to the people.
that is so cool.
This was so great.
Yeah, and I got some plans, things I'm working on. So I'm excited about what I can do to help promote you. This is your platform. Use it anytime.
Thank you. I so appreciate that.
And I
It's
told
amazing.
Cookie is already working on some things, so I'm excited. You know.
And I would love to pick your brain too. I just know, like, when I meet my elders and the fact that you were born in the 60s, I have so